Hello, this is Revd James and we're on the day before Easter, which can be called Holy Saturday or Easter Eve, and it's a day which follows after Good Friday and remembering Jesus' sacrifice and act of love in dying for all humanity on the cross. And today our focus shifts, and it's a day when we wait, and we've had to put up with a lot of waiting, haven't we, during the past year in our lives, waiting and frustration and suffering and bewilderment, and these were all of the emotions that the disciples were experiencing on that Saturday, because as far as they knew, their leader, their inspiration, Jesus, was dead. And here in our Easter garden at St Mary's, we have a tomb there, and the stone is there in front of the tomb where Jesus' body lays. And on this day, the church itself is in a sense symbolically a tomb. There are no decorations in the church, none of the normal ornaments and things there. It's a day of waiting. However, our focus returns tomorrow to this garden, because our reading tomorrow, our main reading, finds us with Mary Magdalene going to this tomb, and what she finds on that first Easter morning is not the gravestone in front of the tomb like this, but it has been taken away, and there is no body there. And so she is bewildered, and she speaks to the person she thinks is the gardener, and the gardener says, "Who are you looking for? What are you looking for?" And of course the gardener is in fact Jesus. Jesus says to her, "Mary," and she recognises who he is, and she knows, as the first witness to his resurrection, knows that he has brought life not only for himself but for all people, and she goes and tells everybody else about that. So Easter is a day of great celebration, and we'll first celebrate that here tomorrow morning outside the church here at 5:30, while it's still dark in the morning. A fire will be lit here, and we will go outside. We will recount some of the stories from the Old Testament of God's action with his people throughout history, and then we light the Easter candle, and we take that into the church, proclaiming the light of Christ, and the darkened church is lit up by that light, in the same way that the darkness of our lives can be lit up by simply one act of goodness and kindness and service to others. And we will be celebrating the great good news of Easter Day, not only at 5:30 in the morning, but also then at 8 o'clock and at 10 o'clock in church, and then at 11:30 outside in the garden here. And what we will be doing is we will be placing daffodils in the mesh of the cross here to symbolise Jesus' triumph over death, the new life that he brings, the new life that we celebrate. And we'll be celebrating that in another way, in that we will have a good old-fashioned Easter egg hunt here as well. The egg, again, symbolising the tomb here that Jesus was laid in, but like with the egg, that he bursts out of on this Easter day. So I invite you to come here to St Mary's, to one of our acts of worship tomorrow, or simply just to spend some time here in the church. There are little Easter gardens that children and families have made inside the church, but also to come to this Easter garden and just to have time to pause and to reflect. And as we see all the signs of new life around us, in the flowers and in the bird song and in the re-emergence of life in our society at this time, let's have a moment of pause, to pause and to celebrate that life does triumph over death, and that we can truly celebrate this Easter day, saying that Jesus Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. Alleluia, and God bless.